All right, welcome back and thanks for staying with us. It's still Rapid Dawn right here on Rapid TV, and we're having a conversation. It's the Human Chronicles, basically. And for today, we have someone right at the other end who would help us answer a few questions regarding a certain story that was made public. Now, this story is about a girl that was raped by her teacher in school, and her teacher happened to be like a 19-year-old teacher, Abdullahi Abbas, who was working in the school at the time. And this teacher raped him, rather. Yeah. This teacher sent another student after school hours to call the student, the 9-year-old boy, and then the boy came over to his teacher and then was taking a walk, and then at a particular place, the teacher happened to stop there, had his way with the boy, threatened the boy not to tell his parents, and thankfully the boy went back home, told his mom, and then Abdullahi was arrested. And after that, he was taken to court. Justice Omotosho pronounced a judgment and said that he would be spending a life in imprisonment. That sentence is one sentence that, you know, a lot of people have completely fought against, especially for things like rape. And we have heard also about kidnapping, where the former U.S. envoy and a lot of other people have come to say that is not the solution to any problem whatsoever. But today we have the pleasure of having with us Mr. Vincent Adekoye, who is the head press officer for Public Relations Unit, rather, and spokesperson of the National Agency of Prohibition for Trafficking in Persons. Good morning to you, Mr. Vincent.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So good to have you join us on the show today.
Compliment for speaking to all the crew over there.
We wish you the very best.
We wish you the very best as well.
Okay.
All right. Let's just get right into the conversation already. Now, this judgment has been described as a landmark for NAPTIP's perspective. You know, we haven't seen a case where a person who has sexually assaulted a child are being given any sentence as much as life imprisonment. In fact,
this fast as well.
And this fast. And if for anything, we see that he was taken to court, he was prosecuted, now given life imprisonment. From NAPTIP's perspective, what makes this particular case significant in Nigerians' fight against sexual violence?
All right. Thank you so much for the interest your station is having in what we're doing. And we appreciate that. I bring you special greetings from my Director General, Vincent Adekoye, OOL.
Thank you.
And other management. Well, the landmark, the judgment is very spectacular to us, very unique, and the landmark for that matter because it borders on violation, on rape. And just as you have corrected yourself, it was sodomy. It was sodomy. Yeah, because it's a boy. So because for your information, NAPTIP implements the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act of 2015. So that law empowers NAPTIP to prosecute all cases of sexual and gender-based violence, all cases of rape, sexual assault, and online exploitation, and every other thing. And also, it's a very robust legislative document that also even protects you, even presenters, journalists from stalking, from cyberbullying, and all that. So it's a very comprehensive legal document. So it's on the basis of this that this convict was prosecuted. And I must also say that when you look at the offense of rape, it is the highest and heinous crime against humanity. And that is why the law is so strong about it. And also, I need to point out that this is not the first time we are securing life imprisonment for rape. We had that about a year ago. A man, a public officer in Nigeria here, was convicted also for raping an underage girl. So NAPTIP is so diligent in prosecuting cases of this nature, and that was what informed it. And I must also let you know that when you look at the horror, when you look at the pain of being raped, you will agree with me that that man deserves to be behind the bar for the rest of his life.
Right.
And also, the victim is an underage 9-year-old boy. Tell me what is going to enjoy a 9-year-old boy. 9-year-old boy. When you look at it, you see that the only thing that we cannot paint the vivid action, how it took place, the pictures on online, because it is so traumatic. It is so traumatic. You imagine somebody you are looking to as your hero, somebody you are looking to as your teacher. You know, in our culture, even students, children, they listen to their teacher more than their parents, because the teacher be with them for greater hours of the day, and they listen to the teacher. But the same teacher who ordinarily ought to have protected this boy, who ordinarily ought to have speak out for this boy, ought to have cared for this boy, the same person threw caution into the wind and violently devour that boy. It was the most painful. When you look at it, when you look at sodomy, it's different from the normal sexual act. It passes through the unpermitted area of the body. Unpermitted area of the body. So the pain associated with it is what you cannot explain. So the convicts really deserve it, and also it's going to serve, it's going to assuage the feeling of the victim. The sentence is going to assuage the feeling, the pain of the victim, and it's a deterrent also to others who may like to show the path of such destructive ways. So that is why it's landmark to us. It is spectacular. It underscores the commitment of the management of NAPTIP to ensure the protection of Nigeria from all forms of violence, attack, and violence control.
Okay, thank you.
And of course, you mentioned that this offender is a teacher who, of course, the student has been entrusted to. Not just this student, many other students have been entrusted to this particular teacher. And just like you also stated, many times the students get to pay attention more to the teachers. They get to hear what the teachers are saying to them based on the fact that there is a trust there. But in this particular situation, sir, what does this very case review about systemic failure in school vetting and supervision? Because it also seems like many times teachers are employed without being vetted, without supervision, right? And that's one part of the question. Beyond the offenders as well, who else is to be held responsible for acts like this when teachers are not vetted, when they are not properly supervised?
All right, thank you very much. You brought in another area, a dimension entirely very interesting to the discussion, because we look at when you mentioned that, it's teacher, the court takes special attention when offenses are committed by persons that are deemed or naturally deemed positioned to protect the victim. When you look at the culture or the structure of schools, whether university or primary education or primary education, you look at it, issue of sodomy, of rape, of school students or pupils is viewed as incest, because the practice is this: when you take your child to school and you hand over such a child to the teacher, the law says that such a teacher becomes automatic parent of that duration, for the duration of that program, of that course. So when the same person who naturally is believed to be a parent now violates such a child, it's like an incest. So it is against the law, it's against the humanity, it's against feelings, it's against good conscience, and it's repugnant to culture of every tribe in Africa. It's repugnant. So then you look at the issue of systemic failure. Yes, that is why of recent we've come out with an awareness telling people, service providers, people who may need service of workmen, of vendors, so please come to NAPTIP and come and do a cross-checking. Come around and let us help you to profile such persons. I'm sure this particular COVID may have trace of having rape or attempted in the past. Probably he escaped. You understand? Probably he escaped. Because for him to have done it in such manner, it was not a casual feeling. it was not a casual feeling.
Premeditated.
So that is why we are saying that look, come around to us, because under the Violence Against Prohibition Act, we have what we call the Sexual Offenders Register. Where so I'm part of the Sexual Offenders Register that we implement, and we also to pretend over. We have what we call back checking, where you can come around and know the profile of service persons you want to get into your system. Whether your school, whether you're the home care teacher for your children, whether you're driver, whether you're domestic worker, whether you're security guard, people that know about you, people that come around you, whether you have female children at home, it doesn't mean. Even if you don't cross-check, if you don't profile them, even your wife may be at stake. People yourself may be at stake. So that is why we tell people, please come around and cross-check from us if this person has history of having committed such an offense or have the tendency of committing such an offense. NAPTIP is such an important agency of government that we have all the apparatus we can even go ahead to conduct a test to determine whether this person has the likelihood of committing such an offense in the nearest future. Whether, yes, we will be able to advise you, we'll be able to position your mind, we'll be able to ensure that, look, you are protected, that you are not endangered in the process of getting a service person, a vendor, a driver, a school teacher, especially those who are with children in school. If you know what is happening now, if you know the level, just for recent, I think he was addressing the officer, and she was lamenting the rate of sexual violation. You now see young children being violated. 3 years old, 4 years old, 2 years old. For God's sake, what is attractive in those toddlers? What is attractive? What is sexually attractive in them? So you see some strange caution coming in, strange attitude coming in, and that is why. And who are the people violating them? People that are close to them, people they look onto, people that can put them on their lap, people that can put them on their shoulder, people that can bathe them, people that can dress them. So those are people that violate them, and it is a heinous crime. Okay. So we are advocating all society inclusive approach to this. That look, please come around. Come to NAPTIP and look, I want to employ so person. Give us the identity. We do background checking. We profile the person. And we're able to get to the right result that will ensure that.
Just a follow-up.
All right, it's a follow-up about offenders too.
All right, go on.
Hello, sorry, Mr. Vincent. Sorry, you asked the question. I was going to touch on the sex offenders register that you spoke about, which was actually going to be my next question. Now, you said that in the publication that was made by you, you said that the name of Ibrahim, or Abdullahi rather, was going to be put in the sex offenders register. And you have mentioned here countlessly that there's actually a register. Now, is it very efficient to come over to NAPTIP before you are able to find these people or to verify these people? Or is it accessible online where anybody can just have access to such a register to know that this person is a sex offender? Because we have had cases of repeat offenses, of repeat offenders. These people have committed these offenses many times and have gotten away with it. They have even been arrested at some point. So what is the linkage between NAPTIP, the police, and the people in the society and other agencies? How can you marry all three together? Because I don't think it's very efficient to come over to NAPTIP because I want to hire somebody and say, oh, I need to hire this person. Can you run a background check on such a person? Yeah. Is the register accessible online? That I, as a homeowner, I want to employ a domestic staff, I can go online to check, look, I'm looking for the name of this person in the sex offense register. Is it present? Is it absent? What can you say about this?
All right, thank you. The register is a document that encompasses a whole lot of information as regards sexual and violence crime in Nigeria. And it has two sections. It has the back end and it has the public view. It has the back end. So the back end is being administered by our experts and also by a consortium of experts drawn from the Nigerian police, drawn from Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, and drawn from other very critical frontline respondents. So those are people that administer it, and the reason why we ensure that it is kept strictly is that so that so that people, so that it will be protected, it will be secured. Because we've had occasions that people, diplomatic community, they want to do so, they write to us. So it is very secure, and for you to, for anybody to have access to it. Yes, as a journalist, you can have access to it. Also, you can be able to have, you tell me, look, oh, I want to know so person, whether the name is there, we get to access, limited access to a section where you can be able to view it, you can be able to see it and confirm, no, this person is actually on the register. And so for also the service provider, you don't need to work to NAPTIP at all. Just write to us, send us an email, send us the profile of the person, everything we need to know.
How long will it take for you to respond? Because this is the issue. You say most times these government agencies say we have access to us, send us a mail, send us a message, and it takes weeks on weeks before you respond. So do I have to wait for 3 weeks when I need a staff to fill in for me like ASAP? Do I need to wait for 3 weeks before I get a response from NAPTIP?
Oh, the new NAPTIP is no more on that level.
Okay.
If you send a mail to us, I assure you, within a limited time.
What is the time frame?
Within 24 hours, we get you the result. Within 24 hours, because why it will take like that, we need to also do a background checking of that person, not only the antecedents, but within the environment, where the person loits around, who the person associates with, who the person visits, what are the environments, environment also could be part of the issue. So we look at that. So within 24 hours, we'll get to the result. So just send an email to us, oh, this is what I want to do, this is the person, this is the profile and all that, because we know that time is of essence for those who want to hire, for those who want to get somebody on their system or their service. So we don't delay at all. If it comes and our President, Director General Vincent Adekoye, she's very passionate about the issue of getting feedback and responding to inquiry. No, there is no file that can stay even on her desk for 3 hours. No. So, and it's a policy in NAPTIP. We don't keep you hanging on information. No, immediately it comes to us, we get it to the necessary department, and they work. In fact, they really want to get in touch with you. Look, we are in receipt of your correspondence of the above. Please, we are working on it. So they keep you informed. Within the available time, they get the results to you, and they get back to you also to know your feelings concerning the service. So it's era of delay is gone. You get the result as soon as possible.
All right, Mr. Vincent, just finally now, we've seen that many sex abuse cases do not make it to the court because sometimes families are pressured into silence, right? And in the case of this young guy, 2 questions here in one. In the case of this young guy, he was brave enough as well to report the offender to his parents despite the threat. Now, what are measures taken by NAPTIP to ensure that children who boldly report these offenders to their parents or to the authorities are protected, one? And also, to such cases that do not make it to court based on the pressure on the families to silence, how do you ensure that, these people also get justice, without getting to the court, if there's a way?
Okay, thank you very much. It is first one, the issue of protection of the victims. Is very critical to us, and we have a policy. We call it a victim protection policy. There is even a document to that effect, because we know that the victim is as endangered as even the suspect. So we take and we ensure that the victims are protected. And I must point out before I forget, on this particular case, the role of stakeholders, because when that incident happened, it was the boy who reported to the parents, and the parents reported to an organized community leader within the area who took it up immediately. And I must commend openly the Traditional Council in Kwali. They performed wonderful on this case. And also, as part of ensuring cases of this nature, NAPTIP has what we call protection officers in the 6 area councils of Abuja. So these are people that are on ground. They know what is happening on ground. So immediately the case was reported, they escalated it to us, and we ensured that the boy was arrested, the convict was arrested and also protected. And we ensure that, look, the boy is protected. As we are talking now, the NAPTIP officials, the psychologists, the counselors are working on the boy for what we call post-traumatic counseling, post-traumatic counseling, to ensure that, the boy is, if we tell you the medical procedure that have taken place, you will know that, look, the convicts deserve, because when you talk about such rape, we have laceration, you have bruise, you have others. So the boy is passing through that, and we are also ensuring that the boy, not only the boy, the parents are protected. Don't forget that the convict has friends and kids within that community. So we must also ensure that the parents of the victim is protected. And a second leg of your question, for those cases that will not go to court, I want to tell you, my brothers and sisters, for NAPTIP, if it is a glaring case, and having found you on that case, and we are able to establish 5.7% on that case, that person will surely go to court. There is no, because we look at when it is issue of rape, people may say, let us settle it in community and all that. I will say, no, you can't settle it, because you are not the one that was raped. You are not the one that was violated. So no community can come together and say, no, let us settle it, no. If we hear it, those who are around, who preside over that supposed settlement meeting, will also be arrested and prosecuted. That is how it is. That's how serious it is. We have been telling people, stakeholders around, that look, offense of rape, sexual offenses and all that, there is no settlement. It's only the court. It's only the court that can settle it.
All right, Mr. Vincent. Thank you so much for giving us clarity on this matter. And it's very important that the public knows about this, and we really appreciate your time. But it's time for us to let you go and for us to exit the studio as well, where Victor Ijama will be taking over right about now to give you sporting updates in and around Nigeria. And that happens at 8:30. Right after 8:30, the 9 o'clock hour is where we get back into the studio to have the big conversation for today. Please stay with us.